This is the Neko Punk synth, which is a cat theme Atari Punk synth based around two timer ICs. This circuit utilizes an astable multi-vibrator setup which triggers a monostable setup. By combining these two setups, we get a stepper tone generator or an Atari Punk console. APC or the Atari Punk console was first made by Forrest Mims in 1980s and it was called Sound Synth back then. Also, it's not made by Atari at all. The only reason for calling the sound synth ACP is the resemblance of sound produced by synth, which is somewhat similar to the early Atari games, beep, hums and other stuff. Anyways, this version of mine follows the same old two timer IC circuit. Only twist here is the cat theme box and the addition of sound amplifier between speaker and ACP. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I made this setup in few easy steps. So let's get started. So the idea here was to make an ACP, a completely DIY APC which will have an inbuilt power source and it should be portable so anyone can carry it from one place to another. Previously, I have made a similar ACP with Atmega 328PU microcontroller connected with a PAM8406 module. It utilizes the Mozy library to modulate sound with 5 potentiometers. That setup worked flawlessly without any issues, but the problem was its cost. I wanted to make a similar synth without using any microcontroller in this project, which will overcomplicate things. So instead of relying on a library, I used a good old timer IC tone generator setup which utilizes two timer ICs connected in an astable and monostable setup. This significantly reduced the cost of overall project and anyone can remake it without utilizing any code. As for the source where I get most of these components, I got the timer IC, resistors and capacitors from Allchip. Allchip is a well-known platform for electronic component supply. They have everything that you need for any type of project. They are an all-in-one procurement department of hardware manufacturers, as all the component that I've used in this project was provided by Allchips, which was a really cool and helpful thing. Also, they have this BOM in one box thing, which is such a useful thing. We provide them a BOM list and they procure all the components and deliver them in one box, which is an efficient way of purchasing components for any project. Check out Allchips for more info. Now let's get back to the video. For getting started, I first prepared a breadboard synth and then prepared the PCB edition. Here's the schematic of the whole setup. To prepare the breadboard edition first, I use the tone generator circuit which consists of two separate timer ICs connected in a both astable multivibrator and a monostable multivibrator. Their output goes into the PAM8406 module and the whole setup is then powered by a lithium battery boost module, which you can buy from the internet. The sound can be modulated with potentiometers connected with timer IC 1, 2 and between the timer IC output and the speaker input. For the PCB edition, I first prepared the schematic of the board by following the same breadboard layout. But the only difference here would be that I have used an SMD version of 555 timer IC which is in the SOIC8 package. Also for this version, I will be using a completely DIY PCB instead of a proper one because this project is still in its early phase and I will add a bunch of stuff in it later on. So for now, this design has 3 pots. After finalizing the schematic and making the PCB, I printed its bottom layer on a glossy sheet paper in real size. Next would be the tone transfer process, which involves transferring the ink from the glossy paper to copper FR4 board by using a heat source, that is the cloth iron. I cut down a rectangular piece from the FR4 copper clad board and use a sandpaper on its surface to make it shinier. Now we take the glossy paper cutout and place it on this copper board and use a cloth iron to press down the glossy paper. By doing this, the cloth iron will heat the PCB and the ink from the glossy paper gets transferred on the surface of the FR4 board. After doing this, the glossy paper will stick to the FR4 board and we need to separate them both, but not by pulling the glossy sheet. If we do that, the PCB trace might also come off, which would be not good. The solution here is water. We dip this board into the water and just rub the paper so it get dissolved and come off the surface without affecting the ink. The result will be a copper board with PCB traces. But here's a problem. A few traces didn't stick properly to the copper board and now we have few empty lines and pads. It's not really a problem as we can draw those traces with a CD marker. Just make sure to use 2 or 3 coats of the marker to make sure the ink deposit more on the copper surface. The goal here is to cover a thick ink on the top surface of copper. We will wash away the exposed copper with an etching solution and the remaining track will be under the ink that we used. Now we prepare the etching solution, which would be a mixture of ferric chloride and water. Also, before working with ferric chloride, make sure to wear a mask and rubber gloves to protect yourself from its foul odor and color. We prepare the solution by adding ferric chloride into the small bucket and then adding water to it. Then we place the circuit inside and start moving the bucket in this way. By doing this, the copper will slowly wash away. After few minutes, the result will be this PCB which doesn't have any exposed copper area left. We first clean the board with water and then use a sandpaper to scrape away the ink which is on the board. Under this ink, copper is left which didn't wash away by the ferric chloride solution. Now we start the PCB assembly process. I first gather all the parts that I need for this build and started the soldering process. This board is just a one-sided board, which means I had to add jumpers in few traces, and for that I will use the silver copper wire. After adding traces, we now have to add wires on the potentiometers and then connect this circuit with all 3 pots. Then we can add PAM8406 module with this circuit and then the lithium ion boost module setup by following this simple wiring diagram. The end result will look and work something like this. As for the body of this synth, we generally use a box-like enclosure, right? Which will house the speaker and electronics. Well, I had this idea of making a cat face on the front side. So I added bunch of cat face stuff on it like a nose, few whiskers, eyebrows and cat ears. I modeled this in Fusion 360 and then 3D printed each part on my Ender 3. I prepared the main body with grey PLA and lid, pupil, eyebrows, whiskers and nose from the black PLA and the eyes from white PLA. The print setting was normal as I have used a 0.5 mm nozzle with a 0.2 mm layer height with an infill of 20% and the support for the base body. After printing all the parts, I used super glue to attach the face parts on the base body. In the end, this was the result. And yes, it does look like that cat Meccano from Tom and Jerry, but that was a coincidence. I didn't model it after Meccano, but maybe I will prepare a version 2 based on that. Now we start the main assembly by first adding DC jack and a switch into the base body. The DC jack is for charging the lithium boost module. Next we add speaker onto the base body with nuts and bolts. Then we connect the lithium boost module with the DC jack and switch. Now for preventing the shorting of the exposed circuit, I added this fiber tape to cover the synth circuit completely along with the lithium boost module. After this, we can now place the potentiometer in their assigned place with some hot glue. Then after this, I place all the stuff inside the body and add a lid on the bottom side with some M2 screws. And this setup was completed. Now we test this setup, and for that we only have to turn on the switch and use the pot to modulate the sound. Something like this. And that is it for today, guys. Be sure to check my previous synth videos if you are interested in the synth project. Thanks Allchip for helping out in this project. You guys can check them out if you need a variety of component for a low price. This is it for today, folks, and I'll be back with a new project soon. Peace out.